The top student, Bo Li, is a freshman at Haisheng University. For him, math was the only truth in the world. In contrast, there was Xing Er, a girl who only believed in luck. She always carried around her little koi fish named Li Zi to guide her to destiny. Following Li Zi's advice, Xing Er climbed over a wall, regardless of the rules. She accidentally fell on top of Bo Li. He inwardly blamed his own charm for causing him to encounter such an unlikely event, while Xing Er believed this was fate. Caught by the teacher, Xing Er explained that she had climbed the wall to find her destiny. The teacher argued that Xing Er's actions could have seriously injured Bo Li. Hearing that the teacher wanted to deduct points and give Xing Er a warning, Bo Li spoke up in her defense. He used a mathematical formula to prove that Xing Er hadn't intentionally fallen on him. During the freshman orientation fair, Bo Li opened a Sudoku club in order to guide his fellow students to appreciate the appeal of mathematics. However, the female students who signed up were all only interested in him because of his appearance. Passing by, Xing Er thanked Bo Li for speaking up for her in front of the teacher. Seeing her curiosity about Sudoku, Bo Li explained the rules of the game. While solving a puzzle, Xing Er unintentionally bit the end of the pen that Bo Li had previously been holding in his mouth. She quickly gave it back to him, and then wrote the numbers on the paper, calling upon her lucky charm. Xing Er quickly finished the Sudoku grid. Bo Li knew she did it randomly, but got it right beyond all expectations. Seeing that Xing Er had some interest in Sudoku, he welcomed her to join the club. Unexpectedly, Xing Er only wanted to borrow his pen, because she had already started her own club called Lucky Koi. When Bo Li came to ask for his pen back, Xing Er immediately made him draw a divination stick. She predicted that he was currently single, but didn't have any romantic luck, so it would be difficult for him to escape his lonely fate. Seeing Bo Li coldly walk away, Xing Er thought that he was perhaps just a karmic connection for her. She decided to follow the guidance of her koi fish again. Unbelievably, her destiny was still Bo Li. Because the Sudoku club only had one member, the student council president wouldn't allow it to be established. Bo Li asked a senior student to reconsider, for the sake of the future of mathematics, but he couldn't change the gloomy outcome. In a moment of despair, the senior called to inform Bo Li that he could merge his club with the astronomy club, and they could share space in the basement of the main building. Bo Li had heard that place was the most mysterious existence at Haisheng University. However, he only believed in mathematics, so he wasn't afraid of ghosts. Upon entering the activity room, Bo Li was greeted by a fortune teller. He suddenly pulled off her hat, and it turned out to be Xing Er. Knowing they had to merge their clubs, Bo Li formally reintroduced himself to Xing Er. She believed that fate had already bound them together. Bo Li imagined a life of love, marriage, and children with Xing Er. He objected because he didn't believe in fate. Hearing this, Xing Er wanted to compete with Bo Li in a test of luck. Whoever drew the great fortune stick would win, and the loser could only use 1/3 of the activity room. Bo Li secretly thought that the person who drew first would have a lower probability of winning. Unexpectedly, Xing Er drew the great fortune stick. He was unconvinced and agreed to use less space to play again. As a result, Bo Li was only allowed to move around on the table. Even though he lost big time, he still refused to give up the Sudoku club, because according to research, organized communities increase feelings of connection between people. Xing Er guessed that his real purpose was actually to find a girlfriend. She unexpectedly moved closer, which made Bo Li's heart race. It turned out that Xing Er only wanted to take off his glasses, which were blocking his romantic luck. She took a photo as proof and accidentally saw a ghost figure in the doorway. Bo Li argued that all strange phenomena could be explained by science. The door suddenly flew open, and it turned out to be the tomboyish Qji. She shared a room with Xing Er, and, coincidentally, was Bo Li's childhood friend. Because he was unhappy about not being as attractive as the tomboyish girl, Bo Li had once promised that if he hadn't found a girlfriend before the age of 20, he would become a woman. Xing Er introduced Qji as a member of the Lucky Koi club. On that note, Qji forced her childhood friend to go hand out flyers to help her promote the club. Bo Li couldn't refuse, so he secretly changed the name on the flyer to recruit members for the Sudoku club. Thinking that Bo Li was her karmic entanglement, Xing Er set up an altar to find her true love. Qji unexpectedly appeared, causing Xing Er to drop some hair, misplacing a star chart. The star chart indicated that the destined person was about to appear, and at that moment, Bo Li opened the door and walked in. Xing Er didn't believe it, and decided to verify the result. She wished upon her lucky koi fish, that her true love would be hit by an apple. Since the school didn't have any apple trees, she was certain that it wasn't Bolay. Unexpectedly, two students bumped into each other, causing a bag of apples to fly into the air. Seeing Bolay in danger, Xing Er instinctively ran to save him. The news of a couple having an apple kiss right on the road immediately spread throughout the school forum. Meeting again in the cafeteria, Bolay suddenly shone brightly in Xing Er's eyes. She thought she was possessed, so she quickly tried to avoid him. However, once they were connected by destiny, she ran into Bolay everywhere she went. To avoid him, Xing Er even went to the most remote building on campus. However, Bolay's aura still made her heart pound. In class, Xing Er still couldn't escape her fate. Hearing that she had forgotten her book, Bolay offered to share his with her. Upon entering the activity room, Xing Er suddenly came in, which startled Bolay, and he accidentally hit her in the eye with his hand. She rushed over to check on his injury. In that face-to-face moment, Bolay felt his heart flutter. Just then, Huji brought ice cream for Xing Er. Bolay believed that men felt this way when faced with the temptation of women. He wanted to test this with Huji, so he pulled her into the hallway. Bolay asked her to do a pouty face, like a girl. Huji asked Bolay to demonstrate, and then quickly took a picture. Bolay admitted that his heart had beat very fast when he saw the gesture. To help her friend confirm things, Huji decided to try it herself. However, Bolay just found it funny. Before returning to the activity room, he asked her to delete the picture of him. Xing Er secretly watched them, thinking that she had perhaps misunderstood and that the two of them had romantic feelings for each other. In class, Xing Er thought she was upset because QG had been stolen from her. Imagining the two of them being intimate, she decided to investigate their relationship. Just as she stepped onto the school grounds, Xing Er saw Bolay acting spoiled while begging QG for something. Meeting in the cafeteria, Xing Er deliberately sat at the same table as Bolay. Seeing her staring intently at him, he secretly smiled, thinking she liked him. While going to buy food, Xing Er tried her best to grab Bolay's bowl. She wanted him to experience the feeling of having something taken by another person. Seeing that Bolay was still confused and oblivious, Xing Er declared that he had to pass her test before he could pursue QG. Bolay insisted that he wasn't dating Xing Er's childhood friend. Hearing this, Xing Er wanted to develop a good relationship with him. Bolay happily bought 10 meals to treat his friend. QG, emboldened by this, used the photo to threaten Bolay into buying her drinks. Seeing him hold hands with her childhood friend, Xing Er questioned their relationship again. Bolay explained that it was just an act between good friends. He secretly guessed that Xing Er was jealous of QG. Unexpectedly, she admitted that she didn't want to lose her only friend at school, which was QG. Just then, a classmate came to report that something had happened at the Koi Fish Club. In front of the activity room, a crowd of people had gathered around Xing Er and QG. It turned out they had come to pray for their upcoming exams. Because the room was too small, they had moved Bolay's table outside the door. Bolay's roommate, Feng Zhu, brought his girlfriend to pray. While waiting, Feng Zhu played Sudoku to pass the time. When his girlfriend came out, he was too engrossed in the game, which made her angry. Bolay argued that girls lined up for hours to wait for the koi fish, but got upset when their boyfriends played Sudoku for a few minutes. Xing Er retorted, saying that when guys play games, they also don't think about how their girlfriends feel. A fierce debate between the sexes broke out. Seeing Xing Er being pushed around by the crowd, Bolay quickly shielded her. A classmate behind them accidentally pushed Bolay, causing him to kiss Xing Er on the forehead. She thought to herself that she couldn't escape this karmic entanglement. Just then, the student council president arrived to scold them. Hearing Bolay take responsibility, he punished him by having him write a 3,000-word self-criticism. Xing Er corrected him, saying that the gathering and disruption was all caused by her club, not Bolay. Because too many people had come to pray, the Sudoku club had to move outside. She asked the senior to punish her and not involve innocent people. Back in their room, Bolay heard Feng Zhu announce that he had broken up with his girlfriend. He read news about the Koi Fish Club and suddenly found Xing Er very cute. Feng Zhu decided that he would officially pursue her. In his dream, Bolay saw Xing Er and her child, but the other member was not him. Bolay woke up from his dream and coincidentally met Feng Zhu buying a cake for Xing Er. He asked Bolay to introduce him to Xing Er. Bolay didn't agree because he didn't want to push her into a fire pit. However, he couldn't shake off Feng Zhu. Seeing the cake in Feng Zhu's hand, Xing Er quickly tried to avoid him. Because every time she ate cake, she would experience bad luck. But when she heard about someone jumping off a building, the city-wide blackout, and the earthquake in their classroom, Bolei believed Xing Er for the first time and pulled Feng Shu outside, ruining his plan to give her the cake. Feng Shu then started planning to give her red roses. After waiting for a long time, he saw Xing Er and ran towards her with the flowers. Unexpectedly, Bolei had secretly cut off all the roses. Feng Shu was furious and wanted to settle the score with Bolei. He asked Bolei if he had feelings for Xing Er. When Bolei denied it, Feng Shu forced his friend to help him win Xing Er over. Bolei returned to the activity room and happened to meet a girl named Wei Ran, who had come to buy a lucky koi fish. She wanted to steam the fish because her love charm was completely ineffective. When Wei Ran's boyfriend cheated on her, Bolei thought that the koi fish had helped Wei Ran escape a bad guy. He advised her that instead of steaming the fish, she should remember the way she lost her mind for love, so that she could have more dignity in her next relationship. Xing Er was sad that her lucky club had brought disappointment to others. Bolei analyzed that praying couldn't change the outcome, but from the moment they left there, the joy of believing that they would be lucky had actually existed. Bolei hoped that Xing Er would bravely eat cake again, because fate was always in her own hands. Xing Er thanked him. Just as Bolei received a text message from Feng Shu, he thought to himself that Xing Er was a promising candidate to help him win his bet with QG. Therefore, he had to make Feng Shu lose hope. In front of his roommate, Bolei declared, "I like Xing Er." Feng Shu was angry that he had become Bolei's catalyst, but he thought that there was no way a 20-year-old virgin could win over Xing Er. Feng Shu's words woke Bolei up. He began to study love advice. Waiting for Xing Er outside her classroom, Bolei shyly gave her a gift, which was a mineral specimen that he had collected over many years. When he warned her that it was poisonous, Xing Er quickly refused to accept it. Back in their room, Feng Shu corrected him, saying that Bolei had to give Xing Er something that she liked, not something that he liked. He revealed that girls were often touched by romantic gestures. Knowing that Xing Er was studying for her English exam, Bolei prepared a practice test for her. It turned out that he had calculated the answers to form a heart shape, but Xing Er got everything wrong, unintentionally forming the written characters for the word idiot. Back in his room, Bo lamented that chasing girls was so hard. His friend, Li Bin, said that he wasn't romantic and had never prepared any surprises. However, his girlfriend was still content because of his sincerity. Even though they were in a long-distance relationship, he often called to listen to her stories about her day. She had once confessed that she loved Li Bin because of his earnestness, which wasn't fake or just for show. When he met Xing Er, Bolei apologized for not intentionally arranging the answers that way. Seeing that she was reading a book about parallel universes, he wanted to hear Xing Er's perspective. She was very surprised because it was the first time that someone had been willing to listen to her. Xing Er remembered that as a child, her friends often said that she talked nonsense, and only her mother liked to listen to her story. As she left, Xing Er thanked Bolei for listening to her. She said that if he was interested, they could continue tomorrow. Just as Xing Er returned to her room, Wei Ran moved in. It turned out that she had changed rooms 3 times because of her venomous tongue. The next day, Xing Er heard that there were supernatural occurrences in the laboratory, so she called Bolei to come with her to see. As soon as she stepped inside, she felt a strong demonic presence. She told Bolei to be quiet and not to disturb them. Xing Er followed the compass to a flickering light. To appease her, Bolei said that something must have gotten into the wiring. Discovering that the electric spirit had escaped, Xing Er quickly chased after it. Unexpectedly, the security guard thought that no one was inside, so he locked the laboratory door. Just as the lights in the room went out, Xing Er startled and instinctively grabbed onto Bolei. Seeing that she was embarrassed, he told her to hold his hand so they could find a way out. While walking up the stairs, Xing Er accidentally slipped. Bolei managed to act as a cushion to protect her. Because Xing Er had sprained her ankle, he carried her in a princess carry. He believed that as long as he spread his arms wide enough, even if she weighed 50 kilos, she would be lighter than a bag of rice. Xing Er was put off and asked Bolei to put her down. He thought that if they could climb 216 steps, they could reach the roof and get a phone signal. Xing Er wondered why Bolei liked math. He said that math didn't deceive people. In that world, there were only fools, not liars. Xing Er confided that she had few friends as a child. She thought that if she could share her luck with others, they would befriend her. However, she often made mistakes, like involving Bolei. He asserted that he willingly came here, so no one was involving anyone else. Sitting next to each other until morning, Xing Er looked closely at Bolei's face for the first time. This moment of fluttering was suddenly broken by a group of their friends. They forced the two of them to come back to explain what happened last night. Wei Ran didn't believe that Xing Er didn't develop feelings after spending the night with Bo Li. Just then, Qi came in to announce that the dorms had run out of water. In front of the public bathroom, students lined up to wait for water. Thanks to his calculations based on the water cutoff notice, Bo Li was able to shower first. Unexpectedly, as soon as the bathroom doors opened, they were pushed back by the crowd. The wealthy Wei Ran decided to take her friends to shower at a high-end place. At the hotel, Wei Ran wanted her friends to experience her VIP card. The receptionist saw Li Ben and upgraded her card to the private rooftop pool. It turned out that this hotel was a gift that Li Ben's older sister had given to her younger brother. Li Ben told the staff not to reveal his identity and not to go overboard. The receptionist followed his boss's instructions and decorated the pool with a study theme, with a series of important exam questions and motivational messages for studying. The pool was large, but no one dared to get in, except for Xing Er. Hearing her organize a free swimming lesson, Bo Li bravely tried it. She held his hand tightly, teaching him slowly. Bo Li felt the buoyancy of the water. During his first attempt, he was scared and clung tightly to her. Bo Li didn't understand Xing Er's teaching method, so he decided to learn it scientifically. After only a few minutes, he confidently practiced, but still didn't dare to jump into the water. After everyone had left, Bo Li realized that Xing Er was not in the pool. He worriedly rushed into the water to find her, but ended up sinking. Bo Li was pulled to the edge by Xing Er. In his hand, he was still clutching her hair ribbon. Afraid that something would happen to him, Xing Er was willing to give Bo Li mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. Qi, seeing this, quickly turned away. The next day, Bo Li still didn't know who had given him mouth-to-mouth. Seeing Xing Er daydreaming about Bo Li, Wei Ran was certain that her roommate liked him. However, Xing Er still didn't accept that. She wanted to ask Li Zi for advice. In the end, all the answers pointed to him being her love. When they bumped into each other, Xing Er felt her heart beat rapidly, and Bo Li thought she was so adorable. Feng Zhu wondered how to determine the feelings of another person. Xing Er quickly denied that she liked Bo Li at all. It turned out that Feng Zhu was asking about Wei Ran. He had just seen her with a senior, so he worried that his classmate would be hurt by a bad guy again. The group decided to follow the womanizer. To avoid the gazes of others, Xing Er drew an invisibility charm, but in reality, it was just staring directly at people, causing them to feel embarrassed and leave. Hearing Bo Li criticize her for talking nonsense, Xing Er angrily walked ahead. Qi said that someone who always lived in praise like Bo Li wouldn't understand the feeling of wanting to be invisible. The group followed the womanizer to the counseling room. It turned out he was the student council president named Bu Fan. They were given forms to fill out about the problems they were facing. Seeing Bo Li writing mathematical formulas, a senior invited him to the math department. Xing Er cleverly asked the senior to help her resolve an urgent issue. Meeting the senior, Xing Er asked him directly about his relationship with Wei Ran. Bu Fan affirmed that he was just a normal friend of hers. Looking at Singer's question, he explained, "When you meet someone you like, your heart will beat rapidly, and you will keep asking yourself, 'Do I like him?' Instead of testing it, just be friends with that person, because your heart will quickly give you the correct answer." Outside, Xing Er unexpectedly grabbed Bo Li's hand. She confessed, "I'm very happy when I'm with you, so I want to continue being good friends with Bo Li." When they met in the activity room, Bo Li asked Xing Er directly, "How long will we be friends for?" She remembered that she had previously said that they would study together and watch things together, but never followed through. She answered, "For me, maybe later is for a lifetime." Bo Li hastily expressed his feelings, but was interrupted by the senior. He announced that any club leader who failed more than 3 subjects would have to close down their club. For the sake of Lucky Koi, Xing Er had to ask the top student for help. After Bo Li explained about functions, Xing Er only thought of cheese sandwiches. When it came to English, she relied on luck to choose the answers. Bo Li was out of options and had to change his training plan. He forced her to finish reading a stack of books in just 2 days. But in less than 10 minutes, Xing Er had fallen asleep on the table. Hearing Bo Li scold her, she asked him to understand the difficulty of a bad student. Bo Li stated that no one was born a good student. While she was sleeping or watching movies, they were still diligently studying. Xing Er argued that she was also trying her best. She was upset that he wasn't considering her feelings. Seeing his classmate looking like a lost soul, Feng Zhu advised Bo Li not to impose his standards of a good student onto a bad student like Xing Er. Instead of imposing, Bo Lei should teach according to her level. Meanwhile, Xing Er was waiting for Bo Li to apologize. Just then, he texted her to come downstairs to get something. Bo Li used a magic card to guide Xing Er to the activity room. There, he had prepared a book with the help of magical spirits to explain all knowledge. Bo Lei appeared dressed as a professor from magic school, declaring Xing Er as a student chosen by the gods. She was moved and rushed into his arms. Xing Er remembered that he used to not believe in the mystical. However, Bo Lei was willing to change for her. While studying together, Bo Lei patiently explained things to Xing Er. For a moment, she only focused her attention on his face. When it got late, Bo Lei finished solving the math problem. But Xing Er had already fallen asleep. He gently draped his jacket over her. Just as she opened her eyes and woke up, they were embarrassed and quickly averted their tender gazes. At the end of the exam period, Wei Ran invited her friends to a roadside restaurant. Coincidentally, they met Feng Shu's group, and she agreed to join their table. It turned out that they had been dating for a while. When Bo Lei asked for advice on how to win over a girl, Feng Shu only mentioned 2 words: be submissive. The whole group raised their glasses to celebrate finishing their first year of college. To kickstart a fun atmosphere, Feng Shu organized a game of truth or dare. Xing Er happened to have a deck of cards. She made the rule that 2 people who drew cards with the same suit could ask each other a truth or dare. Bo Lei shyly drew the last card in Xing Er's hand. Coincidentally, he was paired with her. Xing Er worried that he would confess his feelings, so she quickly chose dare. When Wei Ran dared Xing Er to confess her feelings to the old man at the table next to them, Bo Lei volunteered to drink the entire bottle of beer instead of her. When it was his turn, he also chose dare. Unexpectedly, Feng Shu asked Bo Li to kiss Xing Er. He was about to bravely do it, but Xing Er agreed to drink the entire bottle of beer. When she woke up, Xing Er saw Bo Lei's handsome face. She thought she was dreaming, but it was completely real. They were lying in a strange room. Realizing they were about to miss the train home, Xing Er quickly covered Bo Li with a blanket and then took a taxi to the train station. She texted Qji to ask about what happened last night. It turned out that while she was drunk, Xing Er had taken the initiative to pull Bo Li into the room. During the vacation, Xing Er rejected all of Bo Li's calls. Out of options, he went to her house. Xing Er realized that he had traveled a long distance just to bring her grade report. Bo Li said that Xing Er had failed 2 subjects. If she failed another subject in the first exam of the new year, she would have to close down her club. Therefore, he had come to help her study. Because it was Bo Li's first time in Qingju, Xing Er took him to eat spicy hot pot before they started studying. He tried his best to endure the burning sensation in his mouth. Xing Er revealed that the quick fix for reducing spiciness was milk. Just then, Qji called and asked who Bo Lei was traveling with. He pretended to be at Feng Shu's house and quickly hung up. Qji didn't believe him, so she called Xing Er. When she heard that she was eating spicy hot pot with Bo Lei, Qji stopped her because eating spicy food would give him a stomachache. And also Bo Lei couldn't tolerate the sugar in milk, so he would get diarrhea. Seeing Bo Li still forcing himself to eat, Xing Er suddenly felt a surge of emotion. She used the excuse of a stomachache to stop eating. On the way home, Bo Lei almost touched Xing Er's hand, making both of them embarrassed. She pretended to have bought too much and shared a portion of her medicine with him. Xing Er considered this their first time eating hot pot together. Bo Lei thanked her for giving him a fun day like today. Xing Er also thanked him for making a special trip to her city. Waiting for his daughter to return, Mr. Mi questioned where Xing Er had been all day. She said that a classmate from Haisheng came to help her study, so she took him sightseeing. Hearing that he was an outstanding student, Mr. Mai told his daughter to invite Bo Li to their house to study. Xing Er used the excuse of low blood sugar to escape first. Back in her room, Xing Er remembered Bo Li's silent endurance. She called and invited him to her house to study. The next day, Xing Er prepared carefully for Bo Li to come study. Seeing that she was reading math, he handed her his notebook with a summary of key knowledge points. Xing Er thanked Bo Li for putting in so much effort. Hearing the doorbell, Xing Er thought it was a delivery. It turned out that Mr. Mi knew that Bo Li was coming, so he intentionally came home early. Xing Er told her dad to let her focus on studying. Waiting for Xing Er to come back, Bo Li was about to greet her father, but Xing Er stopped him because she had told her dad not to disturb her studying. They were sharing a book, so they accidentally touched each other's hands. Mr. Mai unexpectedly brought in some fruit, and when he saw the 2 of them embarrassed, he quickly used the excuse of forgetting the fork. While Bo Li was explaining the lesson, Xing Er noticed a smudge on his cheek. She moved closer and gently wiped it off for him. Mr. Mai once again came in at the wrong time and used the excuse of forgetting to bring water glasses. When Bo Lei wanted to go out and explain to her dad, Xing Er quickly stopped him. She accidentally tripped and pulled him onto the bed. Mr. Mai, for the third time, said that he had to go cook. Hearing a loud explosion, Xing Er remembered that her dad had never cooked before. It turned out that he had heated the milk in the microwave. Bo Lei analyzed that most milk cartons were made of aluminum foil, which could easily explode in the microwave. He took over the task of cooking. Bo Lei's cooking was highly praised by both Xing Er and her father. Mr. Mai wondered if Bo Lei, being so smart and such a good cook, must have many girls pursuing him. When Bo Lei said that he hadn't had a girlfriend, Mr. Mai happily toasted his son-in-law. Bo Lei refused because Xing Er had a stomachache yesterday from eating spicy hot pot. Mr. Mai praised Bo Lei for being so thoughtful and agreed to let him drink water instead of wine. As he was seeing Bo Lei off, Xing Er apologized for her dad being a bit talkative. He said that her dad was very good, which was why he had raised such a lovely daughter. In a romantic moment, Bo Lei was about to express his feelings, but at the crucial moment, someone always came to interrupt. Waiting for the opening ceremony, Bo Lei, with the help of the love guru Feng Shu, had prepared a romantic confession. Coincidentally, he met Xing Er, who was welcoming new students. Feng Shu reminded Bo Lei to hide well, to ensure that the confession would be a surprise. He had Bo Lei wear a bear costume to follow Xing Er and help new students. Meanwhile, Qji brought a new student named Yang Guang to his dorm room. While helping him put his luggage on the bed, Qji suddenly felt dizzy and fainted in Yang Guang's arms. Downstairs in the dorm, Xing Er heard that the new student welcoming table was short of people, so she asked the bear to carry the rest of the luggage up to the rooms. Bo Lei quickly called Feng Shu to urge him to complete the confession stage. Feng Shu said that everything was ready and that they were just waiting for the two main characters. He received a call from Wei Ran and rushed off to pick up his girlfriend. Knowing that the confession stage was ready, Bo Lei, in his bear costume, went to pick up Xing Er to introduce the school to new students. He wanted to attract a lot of people to increase the success rate of his confession. However, his confession stage was just an empty steel frame. Bo Lei hid in another place to call and interrogate his friend. Feng Shu said that he had put up a warning sign before he left. Although he felt a little guilty, he couldn't make his girlfriend angry. Back in the dorm, Wei Ran asked Xing Er if she had accepted Bo Lei's confession yet. She had heard Feng Shu say that Bo Lei had prepared a big surprise for Xing Er, and that he had even hidden in a bear costume. Just then, Xing Er received a picture that a new student had sent. She realized that in every moment that had just passed, Bo Lei had been there. Wei Ran advised her best friend not to wait for those foolish guys. If she liked Bo Lei, why not actively go after him? At the infirmary, Yang Guang apologized for mistaking Qji for a boy. Because she had fainted in his dorm, he wanted to stay and take care of Qji. Because the school was organizing a costume festival, Xing Er dressed up as a fortune teller to summon Bo Lei to be her boyfriend. Wei Ran advised her to learn about Bo Lei's interests. She decided to make herself look better, helping Xing Er become the most beautiful girl that night. Just then, Qji called and asked Xing Er to bring a gift that was on her bed to give to Bo Lei. Xing Er accidentally dropped the gift box, misunderstanding that Bo Lei liked to wear women's clothing. Going to the activity room to find him, she deliberately wore a masculine outfit and actively pushed Bo Lei onto the table. Xing Er allowed him to be her elegant princess. She said, "Please wear this dress and come with me to the dance. I want the whole world to know that you belong to me. Will you be my boyfriend?" Hearing Bo Lei say, "I will," Xing Er immediately pulled him closer. She wondered why he liked to wear women's clothing. Bo Lei admitted that he had once bet with Qji that if he didn't find a girlfriend before the age of 20, he would have to wear a dress in front of her. Qji also said that if Bo Lei failed, he could temporarily date her. Hearing that, Xing Er immediately changed her attitude. She thought that Qji wanted to bet precisely because she liked Bo Lei. She apologized that she couldn't be in a romantic relationship with him yet. Bo Lei received a birthday message from Qji. He apologized to his friend that he couldn't temporarily like anyone to avoid the punishment, because his heart had already been given to Xing Er. Back in her room, Xing Er accidentally saw a picture of Qji and Bo Lei together. Coincidentally, Qji just came in. She said that she took that picture before the college entrance exam. When she was young, she also had long hair and liked to wear pink dresses. But when she moved near Bo Lei's house, she didn't have any friends other than him. Bo Lei chased away the kids who were bullying Qji. and promised that he would always protect her. However, the neighborhood kids always waited for Bo Li to be away to come and hit QG. When Bo Li saw this, he advised her not to be a child anymore, so she wouldn't get bullied. From then on, QZ decided to cut her hair short and try to appear strong to protect herself, and also protect Bo Li. QG explained that she kept that picture to remind herself that she owed Bo Li, but she had realized that she just wanted to use protecting Bo Li to prove herself. However, she was now very strong, so she wished Bo Li and Xing Er well. After that, it was a series of lonely days that made Xing Er and Bo Li feel longing and toss and turn at night because of someone. They got used to studying alone and taking walks alone. At the activity room, Xing Er received the news that the Lucky Koi club had to be temporarily suspended because she had to retake her foreign language exam. The senior couldn't go against the school's regulations. Outside the door, Bo Li was about to go in and comfort Xing Er when he heard her say that she wouldn't look for him so that she could focus on her studies. Seeing Xing Er looking dejected, Wei Ran wanted to organize a student movement to help the Koi Fish Club resume operations. Passing by, Bo Li was about to approach Xing Er, but Li Bin urged him to hurry to class. After class, Bo Li snuck into the broadcast room. He said that the school had just suspended a club, just because the manager had failed a subject. He wondered, since when had the measure of a person become their grades? Bo Li admitted that he used to place great importance on academic achievements. He only believed in numbers and strongly denied the existence of anything unscientific. When he became acquainted with the leader of the Lucky Koi club, he realized that life shouldn't just be about studying. She taught him how to bravely face this world. She made him accept difficulties with optimism. He hoped that every student would find someone who made them feel lucky. He also hoped that everyone would support the Koi Fish Club. Meeting Xing Er in the activity room, Bo Li announced that he had changed the name of the Sudoku Club to the Lucky Koi Club. The senior agreed because Bo Li wasn't breaking any rules, and also he had invited 6 members, just needing one more person to help the club continue. Bo Li asked, "My Xing Er, will you join us?" "I will." To celebrate the official launch of the club, the members organized a picnic. Wei Ran reminded Xing Er to seize the opportunity with Bo Li. Down below, Feng Shu also told his best friend to definitely close the distance with Xing Er. After setting up the tents, Bo Li brought blankets and pillows over to Xing Er. While spreading out the blanket, he accidentally pulled her toward him. Xing Er returned the favor and unexpectedly pulled him closer. Their emotions surged, and their lips moved closer. Li Bin carelessly sat down, not realizing that he had just ruined a moment of happiness for the new couple. The group gathered and started telling ghost stories. But no one was able to scare Xing Er. When it was Bo Li's turn, he deliberately steered the story toward a series of advanced math formulas. As expected, only studying could make Xing Er give up. She was punished to go get water from the mountain. Seeing Bo Li calmly continuing to play, the whole group sighed at the straight-laced guy, even though he was called a block of wood. Li Bin, understanding Bo Li, also chased after Xing Er up the mountain. Bo Li discovered that Xing Er had sprained her ankle. He used the excuse that he had also lost, so he was also being punished to go up the mountain. Bo Li carried Xing Er back home. He learned from his mistake and said that she was not heavy at all. As he was carrying Xing Er down the mountain, Bo Li dipped his shirt in cold water to apply it to her leg. Hearing Xing Er make up excuses to talk about math, he unexpectedly grabbed her hand. "Xing Er, I was very serious when I confessed my feelings last time." Xing Er, flustered, quickly grabbed the sparkler that was in Bo Li's pocket. He said that he bought it before they went on the trip to surprise her. Xing Er confided that every time she watched the fireworks burning brightly, all her worries would disappear. Although its light was weak, it was enough to illuminate her heart. She remembered that she had been very strange since she was a child, and only her mother had always protected her like a treasure. Before her mother passed away, she had revealed that she would become a star in the sky to keep Xing Er company. But when she grew up, she realized that was just a lie told by adults. Bo Li thought that each planet has its own orbit, and even though they are sometimes close and sometimes far, we can calculate when we will meet again next time. Human life is also like that. Even when we are separated, we will meet again someday. He believed that Xing Er's mother was protecting her in some way. "Xing Er, not only your mother, but I will always be by your side." Actively placing a kiss on Bo Li's cheek, Xing Er confessed, "I like you." They finally succeeded in confirming their relationship under the brilliant fireworks. Not only Bo Li and Xing Yar, but two other couples were also feeling the surge of happiness. Early in the morning, the new couple woke up at the same hour to wish each other a good day. He read a book, while she did fortune-telling. They prepared their outfits for their first date. Seeing that her best friend was lacking in dating experience, Wei Ran intentionally followed them to serve as an example. In the movie theater, she fearfully snuggled up to Feng Shu, but looking over at the Xing Yar couple, they seemed excited to analyze the male lead techniques in the horror movie. At the pottery shop, where there was a romantic atmosphere, they were too busy playing capture the flag. Wei Ran sighed at how straight-laced her two friends were. Even so, they were very happy on their first date. Bo Li made a date to take his girlfriend on a roller coaster tomorrow. Before going back to the dorm, Xing Yar unexpectedly gave her boyfriend a goodbye kiss. He pulled her back to reciprocate with a warm kiss on the forehead. Back in their room, Feng Shu advised Bo Li to think carefully about the student exchange opportunity this time. A foreign environment would definitely be suitable for Bo Li's development in mathematics. However, Bo Li couldn't bear to be away from Xing Yar for 2 years. In the study hall, Xing Yar accidentally read Bo Li's text message. She discovered that he had given up the opportunity to study abroad. Going to find Bo Li, she questioned why he had kept it a secret. Bo Li explained that when he first entered school, he had registered for the student exchange program, but in the past year, he had seen that Haisheng University also had many academic resources, so he had turned down the acceptance letter. Furthermore, none of it was more important than one person. Xing Yar didn't want him to give up his future for her. However, Bo Li didn't want to wait for 2 years. He hoped that he could take care of Xing every time she was sick and make her laugh every time she was sad. He didn't want to be absent when she felt the most alone. Xing Yar blamed Bo Li for sacrificing himself without thinking about her feelings. Back in the dorm, Bo Li still decided to write a letter declining admission. Feng Shu advised Bo Li to think about his future and also to trust Xing Yar. Bo Li confessed that he really couldn't leave Xing Yar. He knew that he was difficult to like, so he was afraid that a better guy would steal her away. Feng Shu was surprised that a confident Bo Li had become so insecure and blind in love. Meanwhile, Mr. Mai went on a business trip and stopped by to visit his daughter. Hearing Xing Yar mention the study abroad issue, he said that if she could feel Bo Li's awkwardness, then he must be able to feel her insecurity. She confided that she was worried that Bo Li, being in a new environment, would gradually get used to not having her. Mr. Mai said that the most important thing in love is trust. He said that in the old days, he had to go on long business trips to other provinces and had to stand in line to call his wife. He missed his partner so much that she looked extremely beautiful to him every time he returned home. He advised Xing Yar to tell Bo Li that she missed him, so he could be at ease going abroad. Meeting Bo Li at the place where they first met, Xing Yar had painted their story on the wall. Bo Li said, "We came here from separate paths, never thinking that we would meet, and there was no miracle of love at first sight. The two of us are like color and water, or winter and cicadas, but like stars in the dark night, as long as you and I have ever intersected. Even if we gather or separate, we will still shine in each other's universe." Bo Li said, "No matter where you go, my longing for you will be by your side." In the end, Xing Yar's love also made Bo Li feel confident in a faraway place. They waited for their love to be great enough, and their longing to be full enough, so that they could return to each other's sides. This is where the story ends. Don't forget to like and subscribe to not miss out on more amazing videos. For now, goodbye and until next time.